So you sit down to review your finances, and instead of feeling overwhelmed, you feel a sense of clarity and purpose. You have a clear understanding of your financial goals and the steps you need to take to achieve them. With each decision you make, you feel a sense of alignment with your goals, knowing that you are moving closer and closer to your financial freedom. As you go about your day, opportunities for abundance seem to present themselves at every turn, whether it's a new job opportunity, a lucrative business venture, or unexpected financial windfalls. You feel confident in your ability to attract wealth into your life. And when challenges arise, instead of succumbing to fear and doubt, you approach them with resilience and determination, knowing that you do have the power to overcome any obstacle that stands in your way. In your relationships, you notice a profound shift as well. Your newfound sense of abundance and prosperity radiates outwards, attracting positive and supportive people into your life. You surround yourself with like minded individuals who uplift and inspire you, creating a community of abundance everywhere. And everyone in that community thrives together. And as you lay your head down to sleep at night, you do so with a sense of gratitude and commitment to your purpose, feeling content, knowing that you are living a life filled with purpose, abundance, and joy. This is the type of future that awaits you. When you unravel the years or decades of DNA programmed blockages holding you back from the successes and the riches you deserve. Don't you think it's time? We think it's time. It's time to rewrite your financial story and step into a future filled with unlimited abundance and prosperity. Are you ready to make that happen, though? That's the question.
That's the big question. It really is. So let me tell you a story. 20 years ago, I learned a pivotal lesson in my management career, which is if you attempt disruptive innovation in any large organization, its immune system will activate and attack you. Imagine that. As a CEO, it was my job to get the best and the most innovative ideas into the world and integrate them into the organization as smoothly as possible. My team would scan thousands of great ideas and productivity and technology. And our intention was that at any point we should be building or acting upon the best 5 ideas. The greatest challenge wasn't finding new and improved ideas. They are abundant. It wasn't creating systems, nor was it the implementation of said systems, but rather bumping up against a systematic barrage of learned resistance, conformity, and the status quo. It's called a corporate immune system. And that was the term that it was coined with about 10 years ago. So we butted heads with longtime employees, as well as long-standing mid-management and narcissistic senior management, even though they did realize, wait a minute, he actually is trying to fix problems. But that one subconscious rule kicked in and superseded logic. And between HR, legal, and finance, it was death by 1,000 cuts. By the end of my tenure, I was spending 80% of my time keeping the company, their self-proclaimed watchdogs, away from the virgin innovations and ward off any preempted strike. Nobody was having any fun. And our ability to be innovative and challenge the norm was totally destroyed. So how many of you can relate to this? And it happens because all of our organizations are built to resist change and withstand risk. It's not just companies. They're just the macrocosm effect of the root cause, the human condition to resist change. In most not all the cases. It's the innate condition to survive, but just survive, not to strive or to push the barriers or disrupt any of the norms. And we monitor these norms on key performance indicators, strategic plans, standard operating manuals. They're architected for efficiency, predictability, and precision. They're not designed for this disruptive world that we're entering and need to be prepared for. To accommodate this, many organizations try having idea incubators away from the daily operation areas. But the minute you create and try bringing something back in to the core organization, the immune system rejects it. One company that actually solved this is Apple. They have a great design teams and a great technology supply chain, but most importantly, disruption is their core mission statement. So what does Apple do? Well, unlike anybody else in the world, is they'll form a small team that's really disruptive. Okay, in other words, let's take the norm and just twist it and turn it upside down. Then they'll take them and they'll put them at the edge of the organization, keep them completely stealth, and they'll say, go attack some industry. Okay, got it? So they started with music, the iPod, and then phones, the iPhone, and then tablets, the iPad, and now they're into VR and AI. There's no limit to their market cap. They can keep knocking over industry after industry. The quest is not to be the first one, but to be the best one. Got it? It's not a quest to be first. It's a quest to be the best. And so that's what's happening, as many organizations today are attempting this. And that's the private sector side. But the problem of this immune system becomes much worse in our public sector. If you try to attempt to update education, the teachers' unions attack, Uber attacked by taxis. These are Airbnb attacked by hotel systems. These are all survival tactics. And I understand that. But it's like trying to marry somebody from outside your tribe or your caste or your religion or your language or your social institutions. Okay? And watch how the immune system response is very persuasive in all of these institutions. And so this is a fundamental issue that we run the world on in a whole series of public institutions that our civilizations rest on. And many of them are broken. And yet we have to update them. We are having this fundamental issues today because of the increased pace and of change. These old institutions aren't set up for this new emerging world. Are you? Can you adapt? Do you want to adapt? You take an institution as basic as our political systems. Democracy was invented. We originally created these representative democracies when information was scarce. Pay attention. If you were in Washington, D.C., and all of this was first created, you were in Washington, D.C., and you had no idea what's happening in California, the speed of a horse was as fast as information could travel. Think about it. Today, we have an abundance of information that can be misused and misinterpreted. And we have a tremendous stress in all of our democracies. Every major democracy today is broken. Brazil, India, the UK, broken. The US is breaking right in front of our eyes. Princeton did a study showing in no way, shape, or form is the US a functioning democracy of any kind. Here's another example. Take the institution of basic as marriage. We invented marriage about 15,000 years ago. And at the time, the average lifespan was 25. So you got married, you had kids, and you died. That was it. Marriage and life was quick and simple. It wasn't originally designed to last 50 to 60 years. Now, what happens is when we extend lifespan to 120 with new bioscience and gender norms and reproductive rights, are you supposed to stay with that same person for 100 years? Well, personally, I can't speak for Gary, but for myself, 100 years isn't long enough with my wife. Okay? But I mean, it wasn't designed for this and it's breaking down. And we see this all around us. And what is the data showing us in all these cases? Immune response, systematic breakdowns. So we've been thinking about this, a solution for this. And we want to present you a solution to solve your immune system problem. Because for civilization to progress, we have to solve this. Because today we have a forcing function with technology. We now see a doubling pattern as Moore's law accelerates. And we've experienced this doubling pattern in computation for over 60 years now. We have a dozen technologies operating at the same pace. We have never seen this many technologies moving so fast. Look at AI. Seriously, look at AI. It really hit it hit the road really starting back in about 2016. It's been around before that, but it really, really has taken us by storm. So you see, there's something called the Gutenberg moment. And many of you may be familiar with this concept. In the 15th century, we had the first pivotal Gutenberg moment, the printing press. It changed everything. So here we are today. Because of the intersection of all these amazing technologies, we currently have about 20 such Gutenberg moments, and with more to come. That's a lot. Look around you. It's a lot. And we're having a hard time keeping up. And every company today is struggling to map to this digital age. But they all get slowed down by their immune systems. And so this is a fundamental question that we have for you now. How to immunize the mind to expand and transcend to new possibilities without activating the immune response.
So, when we first sat down to interview Dr. Bruce Lipton, his groundbreaking research really hit home with us and brought to light how really understanding and properly applying the concepts of epigenetics can go far beyond its initial effect on just human biology. It actually sparked a revelation that not only can you program your DNA, but you can program everything. Because the premise ultimately comes down to the energy of the God force, divine source, all that is, whatever you label it. That source ultimately leads us to the conclusion that the framework of epigenetics can be adapted to influence virtually everything in your life, including having somewhat of an immunization effect. This in turn redirects an enormous amount of energy that was being used, defected, resisting, and subverting innovation. Right? That energy could be redirected. to a mindset of openness and allowance, making space and allowing money, wealth, and abundance into your life with much more ease and flow. And that's what you came here for, isn't it? Right? Do you want to have it programmed from the core of your being so that you're attracting money in ways you couldn't comprehend? Wouldn't that be nice? So Ross and I looked at the foundations of within epigenetics, and we began to look at how we can code these principles into our reality and teach our clients and students how to do it for themselves in very intentional and deliberate ways. And when it comes to mastering the flow of money, the flow of abundance, and the immersion into spirituality, then we came up with the acronym IGNITE. So you can remember to ignite any area of your life and create more joy, happiness, celebration, and abundance all around you. We have a couple of iterations for those for each of those letters in Ignite. So we have formulated what each of those letters represent. So today, we'll talk about, let's say I is for inspiring beliefs. So Dr. Bruce Lipton talks extensively in many, many ways, many of his teachings about how our beliefs about ourselves, about our environments, and about our capabilities can and do play such a crucial role in our gene expression as we go through life. Now, we know from personal experience and through working with clients with the Infinity process we created that positive beliefs can promote health, they can promote vitality, they can induce abundance and prosperity, and they can foster community and connection. While negative beliefs can often lead to stress, anxiety, sickness, poverty, and isolation. And then the G in all of that is generating innovative thoughts. And while Bruce primarily talks about the consistent thoughts that you have going on in your mind, we like to make a refinement and emphasize your ability to generate innovative thoughts, right? Which means fresh, new, inspiring thoughts that encourage growth and expansion instead of lack, limitation, and destruction. There's no doubt. There's no doubt anymore that thoughts that you consistently and congruently dwell on have profound and often lasting effect on your biology and the reality we bring into awareness on a day-to-day basis.
Exactly. Exactly. Well said. So the next letter, N, represents the way you nurture your emotions. One of the things that he strongly emphasizes that your emotions are actually very powerful influencers on gene expression. So it makes sense to pay attention to and nurture your emotions if you want to create the most positive impact on your overall well-being. The second I in Ignite is the influence of your environment, which has on your and it. So that environment, it has. How do I put this? It has an incredible impact on your physical environment, and it plays a role in promoting or hindering your biological health. So being conscious of how you are being affected by the things that you surround yourself with is a key part of how epigenetics works. And the T stands for your ability to transform your perceptions. And Bruce says that how we perceive the world around us plays a role in the shaping of our biology. But what is perception? Is it the way that you and I give definition to the meaning, to the things that we become conscious of? And this is a topic that we've talked about at length in many of our previous episodes. And we go into a lot of details in our masterclass, the ignition factor, catapulting your business with 6 radical steps. And we're going to share more about that a little bit later.
And then we get to the E. No, it's not. It doesn't stand for end. It stands for the importance of engaging socially. Science has figured out that the social interactions you have with others, whether they are intimate social relationships or casual interactions on social networks, they can all have an impact, both positive and negative, on our gene expression. So that's the IGNITE acronym based on epigenetics, the way we see it and the way we understand it. So when it comes to applying this to programming your DNA for attracting money, well, there's lots of things to understand, to consider, and to implement. It would take us a couple of hours to cover fully and to do it justice. And that's why we have the masterclass to do that. Okay, we'll talk about that shortly and share with you how to get access to that. Today, we wanted to help you get your feet wet, to give you a jump start on your ability to start programming your DNA and explore just how much money you can attract.
That's right. So we're going to pick what we consider to be the top 3 influencers for attracting or repelling money into your life. I want to repeat that: attracting or repelling money. Is that okay? All right. So can we just jump right to the critical stuff for you today? Now, understand that when all 6 are fully activated and engaged, you'll be unstoppable. But first, we need to get your money attraction ignited. And the one key thing that we want you to lead with today is how to instantly influence and activate your DNA to attract unlimited money without years of therapy, any medical procedures, repeating unconvincing affirmations, working around the clock, or resorting to get these get rich quick schemes. And that can be done by understanding the 3 money DNA influencers. All right. Money DNA attractor number 1. Let's explore the power of inspiring beliefs and the impact that they have on attracting money now. The question is, can making small tweaks in your beliefs around the concept of money be enough to open the vaults and send money your way? Well, let's stop for a moment and think about what money actually is. Not just the definition, but the meaning of it and at its source. This is difficult for most because the truth is that the real meaning has been shrouded by decades and decades of how money is used and the forms that it has morphed into over these years. Let's do a quick run through on the timeline of money. Let's take a metaphysical perspective and understanding of money as energy. Money has been a fundamental aspect of human civilization for centuries. It has been in many, many forms. And the evolution of the concept of money is a fascinating journey that reflects the development of human civilization from the Stone Age to the latest modern era of cryptocurrencies. It began with the barter system, where in the early stages of human civilization, people relied on the barter system, exchanging goods and services directly.
And then currency came about as societies became more complex, right? Certain commodities emerged as commonly accepted mediums of exchange. It's such as, like grains, livestock, shells, and precious metals like gold and silver were used as money due to their intrinsic value. And yet it still needed to be more versatile. And so representative money was invented, which we now know as, paper certificates or banknotes were issued as claims to a specific quantity of the underlying commodity. Then it was decided that it still needed to be better. So the transition to fiat money marked a significant shift in the concept of currency. Fiat money is not backed by a physical commodity, but derives its value from the trust and the confidence of the people and the decree of the government. Now, we have Ross talked about it a little earlier, we have a boom in different technologies and things like that. One of those booms is in digital currencies, cryptocurrencies, right? Has emerged as the latest evolution of the concept of money. And this represents a paradigm shift in the monetary system, challenging traditional banking and finance as offering new possibilities. Now, regardless of what you think about it or what you know about it, it's pushing back. The pushback that you may be witnessing is that immune system that Ross talked about that's kicking in to fend off yet another disruptive innovation.
Exactly. So you see, throughout history, the concept of money has evolved in response to changing economic, social, and technological dynamics. Yet one thing remains constant. Beyond its tangible form, many philosophers and spiritual teachers and metaphysical thinkers have viewed money through a different lens, as energy. And as prominent figures in the realm of metaphysics, Gary and I notably expound upon this concept, emphasizing the dynamic relationship between money and energy. In our Money, Abundance, and Spirituality Master Lab, we unveil the profound idea of money and energy as one and the same, exploring the implications, applications, and significance in your lives. This energetic nature to money, at its core, posits that currency is not merely a static object, but rather a dynamic force that flows through the universe. Just as all matter is composed of energy, money too is imbued with energetic properties. This challenges the conventional notion of money as a finite resource. Instead, portrays it as an abundant and ever-present force permeating the fabric of existence. All for the asking.
So how do we ask? That's the question. So
There you go.
research says that we have approximately 60,000 thoughts per day. This includes both conscious and unconscious thoughts, ranging from fleeting ideas to more focused and deliberate thoughts. So, what are you doing to harness the energy of generating innovative thoughts that break you free from the conditioned patterns of limitation and failures from the past? Now, there's a lot of talk and preaching out there on changing your thoughts, change your life. But every little, the very little that actually is taught with specific systemized processes to flip that ratio of negative and disempowerment and disempowering into limitless and infinite potential, it's staggering, right? Their solutions are to do 10 minutes, right? The 10-minute meditation. I mean, they're trying to cram it into a small amount, as little amount of effort and time as possible. And some of them, okay, they're bold and they'll say 30 minutes or maybe even an hour of attempting to repattern your conscious and your unconscious thought patterns. Do you think that's enough? There's 24 hours in every single day of your life. Do you think 10 minutes is enough to undo the years and the decades of conditioned patterns? Do you think that 30 minutes is enough? Do you think an hour is enough? Oh, Gary, I got a life, I got to work, I got kids, I get it, I understand that. So what if there was a way to reprogram even deeper than your unconscious programming and to do it effortlessly, to do it 24/7? We're talking about influencing your DNA coding 24/7, 365 days per year with a language of enlightenment. Would that be powerful? Well, that's why we created our signature program, the Infinity Process, right? When we showed it to Mark Victor Hansen from Chicken Soup for the Soul, he is quoted as calling it the equivalent of having a living vision board at your fingertips. And to be honest, that doesn't that doesn't embody how dynamic, powerful, and radical it is as a tool to harness the full power and energy of generating innovative and evolutionary thoughts that can impact and influence your DNA's genetic sequencing. So, money DNA attractor number 2 is all about influencing your abundant environment. Okay? Influencing your abundant environment. Now, most people don't understand or even believe that they have the ability to take full and intentional control over the way their environment influences them on a moment-to-moment basis. We're here to tell you that you can absolutely flip the switch so that you are no longer influenced by societal lack, limitations, and fear programming that's out there. In fact, we teach students and clients through the Infinity Process all the time to program and code their internal and their external environment for a reality of wealth, abundance, and infinite possibilities.
Exactly. So why can some manifest money while others don't? Now, I want you to pay attention. Please be aware that I said don't, not can't, because each and every one of you can do this to varying degrees. And if you just said to yourself, no, I can't, then you've just discovered your first hurdle. Think about that. The answer that you're looking for is trust and belief that abundance is all there is in existence. The others who can know they can, they trust they can, and come from a place of everything being abundant. Maybe they were taught, and somehow they learned attraction patterns, or even got a glimpse of the codex of money. Well, this is central to the concept of money as energy. Manifestation is the process of bringing desired outcomes into existence through focused intention and alignment with the universal energies. Another of our mentors, Stuart Wilde, was one of the first to advocate for cultivating a mindset of abundance and prosperity, asserting that by harmonizing our thoughts, feelings, and actions with the energetic frequency of wealth, we can manifest financial abundance into our lives. In our master lab, Money, Abundance, and Spirituality, we give you 3.5 hours of experiments you can test out to bring more of that money into your life. So according to the viewpoint of the energetic nature to money, our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions play a crucial role to shaping the flow of money in our lives. Positive thoughts and attitudes towards money generate a vibrational frequency that attracts wealth, whereas negative thoughts and attitudes, they repel it. And when you listen, I mean really listen to some of the top money makers on our planet, you'll often hear them giving credence and praise to the significance of having a properly trained mindset that acts as the magnet for drawing financial abundance instead of scarcity into your reality.
So, for those of you who may not understand the term scarcity, we're not talking about supply and demand scarcity. That's man-made. We're talking about the energy of scarcity. It is a feeling, an emotion of lack not in, feeling not enough or poor or not worthy. It's the source behind that I can't statement that we mentioned earlier. If you catch yourself in this type of mindset, the critical question you must ask yourself is, how did you develop that scarcity mindset? Now, it will require some honest and sometimes deeply painful inner reflection, but getting to the source is essential. It's an essential step to setting yourself free from it. What you are exposed to in your environment through your entire life is constantly conditioning you, right? I believe I heard even Tony Robbins quote that you're being conditioned every moment by your environment, right? We've been saying that for years, right? You are constantly conditioned by your environment. What you are exposed to in your environment through your entire life constantly conditions you on deeper levels, deeper than unconscious. What we're talking about is the conditioning that happens at your core of your being. And that's the DNA gene expression. So, an environment that reflects abundance or one that reflects poverty silently plays a significant role in shaping individuals' beliefs and attitudes towards money and abundance. Now, think about it. Okay. From a young age, you were exposed to societal norms, cultural values, family attitudes that often reinforce the idea of scarcity. Messages like money doesn't grow on trees from influential adults and peers, or she works hard for the money in the. Yeah, I'm gonna do my
Oh
karaoke a
my
little later.
God.
It's
I
in the
told you,
music in
stop.
the
Need to practice that more.
she works hard for the money. In the music that you hear instills the belief that resources are limited and difficult to attain, right? Societal emphasis on competition, comparison, and materialism just creates a mindset of scarcity where individuals feel the need to hoard their resources because they have fear of loss or lack, right? And then there's even traumatic experiences that are related to financial instability or poverty or loss that can deeply impact an individual's perception of abundance and scarcity. For example, growing up in a financially disadvantaged environment or experiencing significant financial setbacks can create a sense of scarcity. And that scarcity mentality is characterized by fear, anxiety, and distrust. Those traumatic events, such as job loss or bankruptcy or economic downturns, can continue to reinforce the feelings of insecurity and scarcity, making it super challenging for individuals to cultivate that mindset of abundance and prosperity. But there is a way.
There is. So, especially in today's age, the media, advertising, and consumer culture play a crucial role in perpetuating the scarcity mindset through messages of scarcity and lack and inadequacy. Advertisements often capitalize on people's insecurities and on their desires and portraying a world where happiness and fulfillment are contingent upon material possessions and external validations. Moreover, media narratives focused on economic crises, financial hardships, and disparities that in wealth reinforcement that the belief that resources are scarce and unevenly distributed. This constant exposure to such messages can shape an individual's beliefs about their own worthiness, their own deservingness, and the ability to attain abundance and contributing to that scarcity mindset. These factors, among others, seem to be stacked in the favor of supporting the scarcity mindset in individuals, making it difficult for their DNA programming to embrace a mindset of abundance and prosperity. Recognizing, addressing, and above all, solving these underlying factors is essential for cultivating a more empowered and abundant approach to life and having all the money you need to live the life that you desire. So, money DNA attractor number 3 is how and how often that you engage in socially enriching circles. This is so important. Coming to the understanding that you do not have to settle for wallowing in any social circle or settings that drain your life energies. We all know those environments or individuals who are toxic to be around, right? You know them. Well, remember, you always have choice, and you can choose to be around nurturing, loving, and compassionate souls and tap into that collective positive energy. You can feel it in your body. When a group or individuals is filled with abundantly creative energy that it feeds your soul. And one of the most powerful and impactful things that you can do for programming your DNA to attract money is to intentionally and regularly place yourself in social circles that are rich, encouraging, growth-oriented, and that support your growth through collaboration instead of competition.
And this is why so many people are a part of a mastermind or some sort of empowered network, like with like-minded individuals, right? You may be thinking, but I can't find anyone else who thinks like me, or I don't have anything to give to a group like that, so why would they want me? Right? Again,
Right.
scarcity mindset creeping in there, right? Kind of, right? So this is an easy one to resolve, though, right? Start small with just one other person, right? If you just put the intention out and consistently pursue that one other person, even if you look for an entire year, you can know that you are not alone, that there are others like you. And then you can both head out to find one more, each of you, right? And then two plus two plus two, right? And then the next year you'll have four in your group. And by the fifth year, you'll have a very powerful and solid 32 like-minded people mastermind. That is valuable, right? This could be the most influential piece of DNA programming you could ever do in your life. For some of you, you need to start by cleaning house, though, right? Now, I often consult and advise students and clients to do social clutter clearing, right? It's not always easy, but can make a significant difference in the amount of money that flows into your life. And it goes something like this. Begin with looking in the mirror of your life and do some serious self-reflection and assessment. Identify all the individuals who may be toxic or disempowering in any way to you or your life and for the life that you want for yourself. And get a sense of how they make you feel about yourself, about your potential, about your life. And some of them, that energy will take you down, and some of that energy will actually motivate you. Right? So I'm not saying eliminate all negative people, because I think some negative people in some people's lives motivates them, and that can strive them to do more and inspire and kind of, so you want to look at for the energy and the feeling that how it impacts you. Is it taking you down and disempowering you, or is it something that kind of sparks you and says, I'm gonna do it in spite of or because of, I'll show them, like that's a good energy, right? You want to work with the energies that serve you, right? Now, ultimately, you want more of the positive things on your side, because the negative stuff can eventually take over. But it's not to say you want to completely eliminate them, because some people it'll serve, right? And then once you've figured that out, how you feel about yourself and your life and your potential from your interaction with them, then decide to set clear boundaries for your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Right? Whatever that looks like for you, right? Each person's going to be different. So determine what behaviors or interactions are going to be acceptable for you with them, and then communicate these boundaries from a place of love, integrity, and honoring of your true essence.
Exactly. So next is to continue to evaluate your relationships and determine if they are salvageable or if it's just best for all involved just to let go. And decide if a toxic relationship can't be improved, that you're going to intentionally create more and more distance by limiting contact or unfollowing on social media or just going to different environments altogether. Because one thing that you'll notice as well when you do are going through this is that once you start to change, a lot of times those toxic people, they just drop off because there's conflicting energy. And sometimes you may need to seek support from trusted friends and family, mentors, or coaches to provide guidance, insight, and encouragement as you navigate potentially challenging relationships. And finally, focus on your self care, spiritually evolving life force. And prioritize your self care and be okay and open to surrounding yourself with positive and empowering influences. Look for activities that you can engage that bring you joy, allows you to practice more mindfulness, and feel like valuable investments in nurturing the type of relationships that they're just enriching to your well-being. This is one that we absolutely love to work on and facilitate. One of the ways that you can do this is by bringing you here on this platform so you can interact with other like-minded people who are learning and implementing the same types of things that you are. And another way that we do it is through our virtual roundtable events. And these are live and interactive Zoom calls with entrepreneurs that get together in the spirit of growth and evolution of their businesses through collaboration, again, instead of a competition. And they do this in a safe environment where there's no selling, no elevator pitches or hidden agendas, just pure relationship building. And that relationship building many times ends up in the very lucrative businesses in the form of leads and clients and referrals and joint ventures. It's brilliant.
Mhm. So there are the three money DNA influencers to get your feet wet, okay, and to get you off and going. Now remember that in order for you for a consistent and profound ignition of the money abundance spirituality you desire, you have to engage all six. Right? But if you miss any or don't implement them in a radical way, you will be selling yourself short with the amount of money that you can begin to attract. So let me ask you a question. Can you see now how you can instantly influence and activate your DNA to attract unlimited money that you want without years of therapy or medical procedures, repeating unconvincing affirmations, or even working around the clock? Right? Can you see how easy it is to get started with the three money DNA influencers? Right? Would it be all right with you if I shared something we have, that we've come up with that will help to fully turn on what we call the ignition factor, right? Catapulting your business with 6 radical steps. You are the first to hear about it and have the opportunity for early registration. Right. So if you're here right now, you're in a good spot. If you're watching the replay, you're here in a good spot because we haven't officially done any of the marketing for it yet or started to put it out there. It's a master class that with that exact title, the ignition factor, catapulting your business with 6 radical steps. And it will be approximately 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours long. 2.5 hours of content and maybe half an hour of Q&A or something like that. And it's taking us a deep dive into all 6 factors through the IGNITE acronym and how each of them relate to having more money, abundance, and spirituality in your life. Okay. So before I drop the link, let me tell you that what the investment will be because it's crazy. Okay. In one of our brainstorming sessions, I said to Ross, well, what if we, because we were thinking, how can we get it so that everybody can get access, easy access to it, and because it's so powerful, so profound, and so innovative. And I said, well, what if we made it so that the students could name their own price? Then there was silent for a few moments, and he said, "That's crazy even for you." Okay, because I come up with some pretty crazy ideas sometimes. So here's my crazy idea. All right, and I was able to work it in there. All right. Um, all we ask is that you choose what you can affordably and comfortably afford between $1 and the retail price that we're going to price it at, which is $197. Okay. And we promise to knock your socks off for this 2.5 hour masterclass. Okay. Does that sound awesome or what? Right? Drop a hashtag crazy in the comments if you agree. You get to name your price. How many times do you get to do a program that's going to be as in depth as this and powerful as this, where you get to name your price? Right? Consider it our way to remove any excuses that might prevent you from attending a masterclass event that will catapult your business results this year, right? We're in the second half of the year. We're going to the home stretch. Instead of just offering it for free, deep down, we both felt it was the best way to serve you, right? You see in every test we've ever heard about, seen, or experienced in with online trainings, the moment a student pays something to attend the training, all kinds of magical things happen. Okay, I share that on the landing page. The date is July 25th, 10 a.m. PST. Let me just put that right there. And I'm dropping the link in the comments with the date. You can go there to get the full details and register now. It's hackingtheinfinitymatrix.com/ignite, IGNITE. All right. The ignition factor, catapulting your business with 6 radical steps. Again, you get to name your price that you can afford so you can attend. We have one more live stream to build the momentum leading up to this, and then we're going to really kick in the marketing and kind of get it out to the larger audiences. Next week, the live stream is one you absolutely want to attend. So schedule and block it off on your calendar right now, 10 a.m. PST next Thursday for the live stream. The weekend after that, or the week after that is when we're doing that master class, right? So let's continue to explore what's preventing you from having true abundance and how you can escape the traps that you never saw coming.
Exactly. So in closing this live stream, we want to thank you for showing up, and more importantly, for participating, actively seeking the solutions for bringing more wealth and abundance into your life. And remember that these concepts about money, um, you know, it's energy, and they may be new to some of you and old to others. But if you feel that resistance, that's that immune system. Okay. But as you show up as your current self, making the profound shift in perspective you needed to ignite your true nature of wealth and abundance in your future. And once you recognize that money as a dynamic force that is the interconnected with you and the universe energy field of abundance, you can truly transcend the current limitations of conventional thinking and fending off your immune response, and begin to tap into the infinite potential of prosperity that has always been there. It's always been there. You might be abundant in wealth, but you can be abundant in lack as well, in lack and scarcity. So we encourage you to make the conscious intention to align with those universal energies that are all around you. Do whatever you can to cultivate the mindset of abundance and limitless possibilities. We can assure you that you can harness the power of money's energy and manifest the greater wealth and fulfillment in your life. So do it. Do it now.
All right. So once again, the date for the masterclass is July 25th, 10 a.m. PST. So less than 2 weeks, because we're 11 o'clock now. So just under 2 weeks. So, 2 weeks away. You can get to set the price you pay, right? You can set the price you pay. Go now and check out the full details. Register now at hackingtheinfinitymatrix.com/ignite. And before we go, I'd like to leave you with a dare. And that is, we dare you to be exceptional today, tomorrow, and every day after that. And the only way to do that is to implement what you learn and learn from what you implement. And that's it for our live stream today, everyone. Thank you for being here. We look forward to seeing you here next week and on the masterclass. Till then, be well. Thank you. See you next time.